it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me again today. This is the project that we are going to make today, and it's a little box, little pizza box, that holds a lip balm. I found a selection at one of my local stores and they were on offer, and as I'm planning for Christmas fairs, I thought they would be something that I could package up and have as teacher's gifts, that sort of thing, tree presents, all those sorts of good things. So I've done one in just thick whisper white with soft suede, and then some of the Year of Cheer paper, and these are the snowflakes from the, what's the die set called? Seasonal Layers, Thinlet dies, which I thought just give it a bit of bling. But this is the one we're going to make today, which is using the Quilted Christmas pattern paper. So let's get started. I will apologise in advance. We have a builder in at the moment painting the outside of our house, which, because we are sort of semi-bungalow and because we look like a barn, there's quite a lot of noise, so I do apologise if there is noise in the background. However, let's get started. The box is about 3 inches square. It's a scoring project, so scoring board. And I'm going to start with real red this time. The original is in garden green with real red on the inside, and this one I'm going to do with real red and garden green on the inside. So the first piece of cardstock is, she says, trying to find her measurements, 4.5 by 8 1/4, and I am going to score the long side at 3/4 of an inch, because the box is 3/4 of an inch deep, then at 3 3/4, so 3 inches further on, at 4.5, and then at 7.5. 7.5, there we go. And then the short sides, I am doing both of the short sides at 3/4 of an inch, and I am actually going to flip round and do them both at 3/4 of an inch. That means that if you've got any slight inaccuracy on your measurement on the width, that these will both be exactly 3/4 of an inch. And then while I've got my scoring board out, I will bring in my garden green, and this is a smidge under 4 inches. I'm calling it 3 5/16, but it's because this is 3 7/8, and this is just over that. So it's a smidge under 4 inches. And then I'm going to score each side at 1/2 an inch. And again, I'm going to turn my paper so that I know that I have got an exact 1/2 inch, and that's particularly important, bearing in mind that this is a smidge of a measurement, so it's quite a difficult measurement to get accurate. Oh, and just what we need now, we've got an aeroplane going over the roof. Okay, so let's burnish all my score lines. And as ever, I fold towards the mountain. There's a whole physics thing about that, but it's to do with the fact that you have stretched the fibres by scoring, and you want to continue that stretch rather than go against it. So there is logic, and I might as well burnish here as well while I'm at it. So thank you all very much for birthday wishes. I was delighted by and touched by all of the birthday wishes I got. I cannot thank you all enough. Right, okay, while I'm clipping, I can continue to talk. I am going to cut here and here, and then I'll do the same at the other end. And then I'll just, well, you'll see what I'm doing. And do remember to wedge in when you're creating your little flaps, you've got to wedge the edge as well. So I always say I cut away the score line, so it's only a little wedge, and then just wedge the side. Can you see what I'm doing? More or less. The light is appalling. It was foggy here all morning and it's still not brilliant. I might have to put lights on later. Anyway, as I was saying, oh no, I won't. This one we keep straight and then we wedge out the small square, and we do that on both sides, so we keep that straight and wedge out into the square, and then again I will carry on around. So yes, thank you very much for your best wishes. That was lovely, and we more than beat the my target for subscribers. I've now, as at recording this, and I'm recording this possibly yesterday or maybe the day before, I had 2,220 subscribers for my YouTube channel, and as I had asked or hoped that I might get 2,000 by my birthday, I am thrilled. So thank you all very much for that, and I've had well wishes from literally all over the world. If I had realised what playing with paper and glue was going to do for my life, I would have done it so much sooner. Right, so on the liner, I'm going to take out the whole of the corners, and I'm just going in at a very slight angle. Not much, but you can see it's not square, as opposed to being at an amazing angle. But yeah, I cannot. It's just phenomenal. The interaction and the really kind wishes that I have been getting is just phenomenal. So thank you very much. If I had known, I would have done it sooner. The irony, of course, is that I'm about to start work again, fortunately only on a part-time basis, so I will be hoping to keep up as many of my videos as possible. I will certainly be doing my daily videos whilst we're doing the Advent projects. And then we'll have to see what happens after that. Right, okay, so to make the box, I am going to put glue on all of the little flaps. Just make sure I have actually, yep. And I'm using fast fuse because it's fast and it fuses. So why wouldn't I? Ooh, and let's not stick myself to my table. And do remember that the key to fast fuse is to not stick yourself to the table, but also to have a light touch and to break the tape. So you break it just by flicking, and I would tend to suggest that you flick in opposite directions so you don't get that happening, because otherwise you can end up with a string, or the tape can move so that it's not on the roller properly. So yeah, just make sure that you break your tape and do it in different directions. Right, so simple pizza box. Just line up your corners, and because we've done the 3/4 of an inch on each side, it should line up nicely. So doing the base first. Now I always find that this corner is the awkward one. There'll be one corner that you find awkward because if you're left-handed or right-handed, there will be, well, of course everyone's either right or left-handed, but that will determine which one you will find awkward. So that is that, and that is our little pizza box. And then just to make sure you don't get this folding out like that, what I would suggest is that you actually reinforce that, give it a bit of memory that you want it coming in. And then, just to make it easier to open, with, this is the 1/2 inch circle punch, but you could use any of the smaller circle punches, so the 3/4, possibly even the inch, and all I'm doing is eyeballing where the middle is and then pushing it so that it's right up, and then ooh, we've got our little thumb hole, and that just makes it easier to to open and close because you've got something to pull into. So that's the basic box. For the decoration, I am being incredibly lazy, but it's simple but effective. This is from the Quilted Christmas pattern paper. This is the red version. There's a green version as well. And I've just taken the dies, and if you pop them over there, it cuts it out completely. However, for this particular one, if you don't have the dies, it's not a difficult cut. It's very easy to do by hand, so don't feel that you have to have the dies just to make this particular project, because you don't. So this I'm just going to pop onto the top of my box with a bit of tape runner. And I'm just going to try and get it into the corners reasonably. I mean, don't want to fuss about it too much. The joy with the tape runner is that you don't have the same flicky thing that you have to do with the fast fuse, but of course because I'm now used to doing it with the fast fuse, I do it with pretty much everything because it's a habit I'm in. And then that I just pop in the middle, and as if by magic it fits, and it was just pure fluke, but it is basically 3 inches across. It's just lovely when these things come together like that. I will be adding a little extra in a moment. However, I've worked out that for this particular lip balm, a 2-inch circle is exactly what we need, because it will just sit in there. And to find the centre, again, by pure fluke, if you fold your sides in and then open up your punch and slip everything in with the sides still in, it just, if you make sure that you can not really see the folded edges, you'll be in the middle. So it makes it much easier for measuring and finding your middle. It does make it interesting to get it out, but it is doable. And then that just slips in there perfectly, and as you can see from underneath, it's a perfect fit. And that just slips into our box, and because it's a smidge and a hair underneath 3 inches, it fits into the middle of our 3-inch box, as if by magic. I wish everything came together that easily. And I'm going to use glitter enamel dots, which do not come in either garden green or real red, but they do come in Dapper Denim, Daffodil Delight, Rich Raspberry and Old Olive. And because they're ombre, the very pale versions, another aeroplane, the very pale versions have almost no colour at all. I am going to use the Old Olive one so that the colour that is there is at least sort of the right colour, but then just pop that in the middle and just reinforce that that's on properly, and there you are. It's as simple as that. So if I bring them all in, let's pop that one in the middle as it's different. Can you see them? Yes, you can. For this one, all I did was cut a square of the Year of Cheer designer series paper that was just slightly under 3 inches. I think I cut it at 2 3/4. Let me just check for you. I did. So yeah, I will try and sort out metric measurements because this is an inched project. I am not going to guarantee it, but I will try. But as time is beginning to run away with me at the moment with starting a new job, I may not succeed, in which case I apologise to anyone who is only able to work in metric. Most trimmers do have inches as well as metric on, and certainly ours does, so it should be possible to work in inches for this project, and the scoreboard is in inches as well, so I think this might be one where I skip on the metric thing. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Remember that the stamping blends are now available over on my online store. It would be lovely to welcome you to my customer base. So if you fancy any of those, that would be great. If you need any of the products that I used here, again, those will be available on my online store. The dimensions will be on my blog post, which is linked below, and that's the one direct to the post for this project. So you don't have to go and find it if you're watching this after the event. So that's that. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. That would be great, bottom right hand corner. If you want to see when I post generally on my blog, if you go over to it on the desktop version, in the top right hand corner underneath my header, you'll find a subscribe by email space, and you just put your email address in, and you will automatically get an email when I post. So it'll be an instant reminder for you. So that would be lovely. I think that's everything for now, and I will see you again very soon. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye!